Love to Hate, the podcast that asks the question, what do you love to hate?
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And I hate your ass face!
Do you love it?
No!
Do you hate it?
Oh, yeah! Yes!
You stupid, ignorant son of a bitch, dumb bastard!
I tart in your general direction.
No more foreplay.
Hey kids, it's Monday, so it's time for another edition of Love to Hate. I'm Philip Fullman.
And I am Brandon Luna.
And right now, it's going to be our year-end edition. We're going to wrap up 2016 since it's over.
Correct.
And we'll talk about what? All the stuff we loved to hate during 2016. Have we even done this show for all of 2016?
No, I don't think so.
But we can still love and hate stuff prior to when we started the show.
Correct, because we did live all of 2016.
That's true, we did.
Even though I wish I was a bear and I could hibernate for like the last 3 months. That'd be great, but that's not apparently real, so...
Okay. So we're going to talk about some of our favorite things. So we'll talk about movies, film, books, whatever, podcast.
Correct.
Although, to be fair, this is the only one I've listened to in a while.
Oh, I've got a couple that I like a lot. Yeah.
All right. So what do you want to start with?
Let's start with stuff that we like, and then we'll get to the negativity, because it's more fun to talk
What category?
about. Television.
Television. Okay. Pretty much the only show I can think of that I've been watching that I know is new is Designated Survivor. With Kiefer Sutherland.
Correct, yeah.
So I'm really enjoying that one. I'm trying to think of what else is new. But I think it's an interesting transition, and at first I was disappointed to hear that he wasn't going to be on the new 24, but seeing him in this, I feel like it's a good transition. I like the story. I think it's interesting. Yeah,
I dig it too. I dig it too.
I'm a fan of the show.
It's different because you want to see Kiefer. I think people, it's one of those things where he's getting kind of stereotyped into Jack Bauer. People expect when he's going to do a television show, it's going to be very Jack Bauer-esque, and this isn't. It's almost like there's moments where he is kind of Jack Bauer-ish, where he gets to be a badass, but for the most part, it's the opposite of what he was in that show. So it's more thoughtful, less, a man of action. But I do like the show a lot, and I think it crosses the line a little bit into there's a little too much drama with the family stuff. I think there's some things they could probably kind of dial back.
I like the concept. I find the concept fascinating, and that was the original hook for me.
And I like that they actually went there and said that the character was like, yeah, I didn't vote for either of you guys because I'm an independent.
Right.
Which is great. They just put it right there on the surface. I'm like, that's awesome. They actually went there. So I've been digging the show. I love it a lot. Yeah.
He's good in that role, and he's good at doing that slow burn. He's aged well as an actor, I think. And it's funny because before 24, I hated Kiefer Sutherland. Yeah. I don't know why. He always struck me as kind of this greasy character in these bad Showtime action movies.
Right.
That was always, killing the stripper or something.
He didn't have the gravitas that his dad had as an actor.
He didn't, and I feel like he probably didn't get some good roles.
Exactly, yeah.
And 24 really kind of opened me up to okay, I kind of like this guy.
He grew into that character. If you watch 24 from season 1 to the end, he's definitely grown into the Jack Bauer character, and he's grown as an actor in that whole time.
This is true.
Producer and everything else. So he definitely, that thing really kind of pushed him to the next level as a performer.
Well, and he said he's a producer on 24 Legacy.
Yeah, exactly. And they say he might pop in there. You never know. So
they've got some surprises in store for that. So, yeah.
But speaking of Designated Survivor, check out our other podcast, Kiefer for Prez. Is now transitioning a little bit. Randy Rankin was the co-host with me on that, but Philip Fullman will be stepping in because Randy's a little bored with the show. Yeah, you didn't know about that?
Oh, no, I got to go check my emails.
Just shut up and do it.
All right. Wow. Another new show I watched, and I'm not necessarily proud of it, was The Good Place with a gal, Kristen Bell. Okay. And I think I started watching it just because it was Kristen Bell.
Yeah, she's
and I don't really laugh out loud when I watch it, but I think I'm amused by it.
Yeah.
But I do watch it. I'll tell you one show I do love. This Is Us. Have you watched that?
I haven't watched it. I've heard good things about it, but I haven't watched it yet.
I had two people recommend it to me, and I never. It's not really Hallmark-ish. It is a little precious at times, but I love the concept. If you watch that first episode, the writing on it is so great, and it just sets up the premise of the entire show that it really kind of hooked me after that. And it's even though these are, yes, kind of the pretty people with their pretty problems and whatnot, it still it resonates.
Yeah.
I think there's some genuine heart to it, and I think the writing's clever, the writing's strong. So I'm a fan of that. Which really that wouldn't be the typical show you'd think I would watch, but
Yeah.
maybe it's because I'm middle aged.
My wife is transitioning into that because Parenthood ended, and that was her show. So she loved Parenthood, and this is, I've heard, very Parenthood-ish.
See, and I never
With a
watched
different
that,
hook,
even
yeah.
though Peter Krause was on it.
I liked the actors in Parenthood, but
Right.
it was very, how would you explain it?
Precious?
It was very Robert Altman-ish, in that everybody talked over everybody the entire show, and I
see,
can only
now maybe,
take so much
maybe
of
I
that.
should maybe I should watch it then.
Yeah.
Because
I mean,
I watched Sports Night, and I
Yeah.
loved Sports Night, and it
I
was kind
liked
of the
it
same
there,
concept.
but to me, the dialogue wasn't snappy enough. It was more just regular people talking over each other, and not as entertaining to me.
Kind of like,
And-
holiday dinners.
Yeah, and some of the characters really annoyed me. So after about the first half of the first season, I'm like, I'm done with the show. And she watched it all, but so hopefully This Is Me will be her next show that I don't have to watch that she does. So we'll see.
Well, there you go. Give it a shot. I recommend.
I'll give it a shot.
I
I'll give it a
recommend it
shot.
to you.
You got another one?
This not really a new show. It's new to me.
Okay.
And actually, Steve at our Plano shop here recommended it. Dark Matter, Canadian sci-fi show.
Yeah.
Are you familiar?
You told me about it. We talked about it. I haven't
It's
watched it.
I made it through the first two seasons, and it's kind of interesting. I like it. In every review, and even when Steve mentioned this to me, everybody relates it back to Firefly.
Oh, excellent.
Which I love Firefly.
Oh, yeah,
This
I love
isn't Firefly. There's kind of maybe that vibe about it,
Right.
but it's definitely not the show. So the premise is basically you have all these people in stasis on a spaceship, and they all wake up and they all have no memories.
Ah.
So you have 6 people, so they named themselves after the order in which they woke up because they don't know their names. So you've got 1 through 6, basically.
Right.
And you've got the captain of the ship is a woman. You've got the weird, awkward female teenager who's kind of really good with technology. You have an android on there, a really hot android. You got kind of the badass troublemaker guy. A lot of things you normally see in sci-fi, so you could see how you could watch Firefly and go, okay, this is supposed to be that one. But the scripts are clever. It's a sci-fi show, so it's not the greatest special effects, but I think if you can get into the story, it might be worth a watch. And it's got the first 2 seasons up on Netflix,
Yeah.
so worth giving a look.
Gotcha. So is the hot robot number 7 of 9?
No, they just call her Android.
Oh, okay. That's too bad. That'd be-
But
it was a
no,
crossover,
and she's got and she's got an interesting story too. And I think they do a good job of meeting out the backstory without just doing this huge dump of like, okay, here's everybody's backstory done.
Exposition boom, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They stretch that out quite
That's
a bit.
cool.
So,
I need to check that out, yeah, because I like sci-fi and I haven't seen that yet. So, my win this year for me, the one show that I watched that I hoped was going to be good and I actually really enjoyed it was Westworld. Westworld was awesome, and the only thing I have negative about that show was it kind of went where I thought it was going to go, and I hoped it. It's a pain in the ass when it's a mystery and you figure it out, and then you're like, shit.
See, I haven't watched it yet.
So it's one of those. If you're into solving the mystery, then you're probably going to figure it out before it gets to the end. You're going to be a little bit let down. But if you're more of just a casual watcher that doesn't think about it after it's over, then you'll probably be very happy with the ending of it. But
So you're saying give it a watch?
Give it a watch, yeah.
The season's complete
the
now. How
season's
many
complete,
episodes?
Yeah, it was 10
was
episodes.
it?
That's
Okay,
it. So
I
it's
can,
short season,
Yeah, I
very
can do
well
that.
done. Like high production value, great actors, great performances, good stuff.
I can do that.
Yeah, definitely do it. Yeah, if you haven't seen it yet. And then the new season of not Game of Thrones. I wish that would come back. The new season of Walking Dead came on, and not my favorite thing. So
Really?
yeah, not real big a fan of this season yet.
Why is that?
Just I don't know. They brought in Negan, and everybody was all talking about Negan. He's the comic bad guy that everybody's going to love, and it's very. I always thought Negan was this way in the comic, and I thought they would flesh it out in the show, but they haven't. He's very one note. So Negan is basically just all smiles and cock and flourish and no substance, and they haven't given him anything for you to kind of latch to. You don't want to like the character, but there's nothing there. It's like there's just that exterior and there's no interior for that character. So for me, it's
I disagree.
a little let down.
I disagree. I think they've fleshed him out more in the show than in the book. In the book, he struck me as kind of like a dumb jock.
Right.
He was kind of like this big, brute, bully, just bull in a china closet type of guy. On the show, he strikes me as much more of a sociopath, where he kind of thinks these things out and looks at how he's manipulating people.
He's very
he is, and so that's something I didn't get out of the comic book. I see this portrayal as more sinister, and like I said, a little more controlling, playing chess a little bit more, thinking a few steps ahead.
Yeah, I just don't. I guess what I'm not seeing is why people would follow this guy. I'm not seeing the leadership aspect of it that I think you need.
Well,
from
no,
that
I think
character.
okay. So why doesn't he have the magnetic personality and the charm? Well, I think it's just basically he's just like I say, he's the biggest bully.
Yeah.
So he scared the hell out of people, and so it was like follow me or die. So people just got in line.
Yeah.
You're thinking like he's good. From the books, he had like a Jim Jones type personality.
Yeah.
No, I never got that out of the books. That he was kind of this dynamic manipulator. No, I always got that he was kind of just like scary, kind of like, hey, you work for us or I kill you.
Right. And
so
I guess
I think that's that I see in the show.
A friend and I talked about it, and we talked about how the character progressed and stuff. It's like, well, why would people follow this guy? And he brought up a good point, and I kind of saw his point. It's like, well, think about it. At the beginning of the zombie apocalypse, he was probably walking around scared off his ass like everybody else. Maybe not so much, but came up with a way to basically say, okay, I'm just going to do the opposite of what everybody else is doing by being scared, be this badass, just bash people's heads in if they don't do what I want and get people to do and that way I can have people follow me. Or maybe he was a bully to start with. But as you start small and you have a group of maybe 5 or 6 guys that go, okay, this guy's a fucking badass. He's going to get us food. He's going to get us shelter. He's going to make people do what he needs. And we're going to follow up and do these things. I could see that growing over time to where, eventually you're going to have your core guys that do everything for you. And they basically do the same thing that you're doing, and it grows and grows and grows and grows and grows. But I feel like there's a lot more lemmings. How would you explain it? So he has a lot of people that still aren't like him that he provides for. And I don't think that he would have those kind of people in his.
Well, but if they leave, then he kills them.
Yeah.
So it's I will provide for you, but you have to do this.
Yeah. I don't know.
Like a Messiah complex.
I've been a little let down by the character. I think I don't think it's where it needs to be. The last episode was really good. I really liked probably the last 2 episodes.
Right.
Him being around the kid and everything was really uncomfortable, and how he treated Carl. I liked that. They got that relationship, I think, right. Because you can see Carl kind of leaning. He's teetering between his dad and Negan, because he sees Negan as the guy that his dad used to be, the strong leader type. And, so but that's
Rick's,
interesting.
The way they left it, things are different now.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm trying not to give away spoilers, but it's going to be an interesting second half to see. The showdown I want to see, Carol versus Negan.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you just don't fuck with Carol.
Exactly, yeah.
Because Carol will find a way. Because she'll smile at him and bake him a cookie with rat poison in it. And she'll and she'll just smile at him. And
they're getting pretty close to the comics now. People are dying that were dying in the comics, and she was dead already. I mean, she committed suicide in the comics.
Because she was batshit crazy in the comics.
Yeah, so
and Andrea, the one who died in the show, she's in the comics.
So we'll see.
And she and Rick are in a relationship in the comics.
Exactly, not Michonne. Yeah.
Yeah, and Rick's also missing a hand.
Exactly. Yeah.
In the comic, Rick's all sorts of fucked up in the comics.
I kind of like the Michonne Rick thing. I kind of dig it.
I do too. I think they found each other.
And I think people shipped that in the comics, but it never happened, and so.
No, it works better. I like having the two distinctly different. And I think as a creator, it gives Kirkman a lot of leeway because it's like, hey, what if we did it this way? It's like, well, you know what? We don't necessarily have to throw out that idea because we could use it over here.
Yeah.
Because it's almost 2 different universes.
Correct, yeah. But that's really it. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot this year that I just really enjoyed besides Westworld, so. But I don't watch a whole lot of TV either, so I'm not a sports guy. I'm not, seeking out those shows that I have to watch every episode.
I'm sure I binge watched a lot of stuff, but none of it.
Big Bang Theory seemed a little better this season or this year.
Really
My wife
into it.
watches that because her cousin's in it, so
Her cousin's in it?
Yeah, her cousin's Jim Parsons.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
You didn't know that?
I never put it. Well, I never put together the fact that they have
No.
the same last names.
Yep, it's her dad's brother's son.
What do you know?
Yeah.
Wow. And here I am sitting across from you doing this podcast.
I know. I'm
Wow.
sort of kind of related, like by proxy.
Well, in that case, I like the show. Can we get him on?
Right.
I'm just thinking of ratings.
Exactly.
That's all I'm thinking.
But
of.
no, it's gotten a little more on track this season. It's actually been pretty funny. But I don't watch it on a regular basis.
Right.
So. But I don't. There's no sitcoms that I watch. I'm not a sitcom guy. I can't think of a single sitcom that I've watched at all.
No, I basically watch British stuff. If it comes to I'll go back and watch episodes of a bit of Fry and Laurie.
Yep, Black Books. I watched that. That was a great show.
I know which one you're talking about. That
Dylan
was
Moran.
Yeah, and I forgot what got me into that show. I went back and watched Spaced.
Yeah, great.
So I think that got me into it. But again, that didn't come out this year.
No. Things we did like this year. I liked Black Books, and that was great.
Movies that came out this year. There were a couple you recommended to me that I was like, I don't know.
Right.
And it turned out that I liked them very much. The first one, American Ultra, which has
two actors I hate.
that I hate. Yeah, Kristen Stewart and oh God, with the bad hair, Lex Luthor. Jesse Eisenberg, who I cannot stand. I can't stand his voice. Connie Britton was in it. I always like Connie Britton.
Yeah.
I have no
and
issue
another
looking
guy
at
we
her.
don't like, Topher Grace.
Oh God, I don't understand how Topher Grace gets a job other than just
I
playing a
either.
kid. He
Right.
can still play a high school student. I just don't get it. It's like when he swears, it's like, oh, you're gonna get scolded.
Right.
I just don't get this gravitas. Like he doesn't work at the CIA.
He could remake Hiding Out. He could do that.
He could.
Remember that movie
Yes.
with John Cryer? Yeah.
He could totally do that.
Totally pull that off.
How he got the job, I don't know. But,
Yeah.
just with those two actors, the concept was interesting. Max Landis wrote it. I just thought this is going to suck. But it actually turned out to be really good. And I didn't hate Kristen Stewart. Eisenberg didn't annoy me.
Yeah. I thought he was. It worked.
Yeah.
The character worked. His little thing that he does worked for that role. So I liked it.
Who else was? You got a Bill Pullman sighting in there, and then you also got I can't think of his name. The guy who played on Arrested Development. He played Buster. He's Hale. I can't think of his first name, but he's also on Veep.
Yeah, I got you.
But he was in there as well. But an interesting film dealing with the CIA and their kind of mind control spy program.
The whole MK Ultra thing, yeah.
Right, which
was a
then
real
is
thing.
interested. What made it interesting was watching Mr. Right, which I liked even more on second viewing, or the first time I tried to actually get through it, because they reference the Ultra program, also written by Max Landis, so they kind of reference that as well. But the first time, because you recommended it, I sat down, and I couldn't get past the Anna Kendrick drunk thing.
Right.
The whole just the chick flick part in the beginning, like, I'm a crazy drunk girl, and ha ha ha. It was like, I can't stand this.
Yeah.
So I didn't make it through. Then I think I sat down, watched it again, got past it to the part where she meets Sam Rockwell, and after that it took off, and I really enjoyed it. It is a well, you got to have a certain sense of humor.
Yeah, you got. It's pretty dark. It's pretty dark. It's a black comedy, but
to me, I laughed,
and
so maybe that just says something about my personality. But I just find her amusing.
Yeah, it reminded me of, in tone, mind you, and of course the subject matter was kind of there too, of Grosse Pointe Blank, and that was one of my all-time favorite John Cusack movies.
Yes,
and it was one of those movies that my wife and I saw in the theater, and we were the only people laughing.
Right.
I'm like, why is no one laughing at this?
Because
movie's
everybody's like,
hilarious.
Yeah, but everybody sees it as like, that's inappropriate.
Yeah.
Like when she just starts, when Kendrick starts just firing bullets into the guy, emptying the gun, like, why doesn't anybody listen to me? Just, I get so mad. Nobody listen. And it's like, I love this. She's just having this little breakdown and killing a guy. It's kind of funny. And then at the end's like, hey, honey, I killed 2 people. It's like, this is so funny. Just this random, like, no, I'm good with it. It's like,
yep. And I loved when he made her realize that she could do it.
Throws the knife at her.
Yeah, it was great.
Maybe it's because it reminds me of a past relationship. I don't know.
Right.
Where it's just kind of that weird, skewed, like, well, why? This makes complete sense to me. I don't see why anybody would have an issue. Not that we were assassins or anything that cool.
But I love Sam Rockwell. Sam Rockwell's great.
Sam Rockwell is anytime you put him in a movie, he just makes it better. Even Iron Man 2.
Exactly.
Just his little scenes, it was like he was funny.
Yep, he's
he
great.
he made up for some of the suckiness of Iron Man 2.
Yep, he made.
I don't
up for
think
some
he
of
could
the
have saved
suckiness of Hitchhiker's Guide too.
Yeah, the funniest part in Hitchhiker's Guide, the part that I really cracked up about was after the ship crashed, the windshield wiper was still going. I don't know why that cracked me up, but
Yeah, he was good in that as
I found that funny.
Zaphod Beeblebrox and Zaphod Beeblebrox. Yeah, that's a hard thing to say.
yeah, no, he was definitely good in that. And then what is it? Martin Freeman was in it, and
Yep.
so I think now the new Sherlock should be coming out. I think that's out on New Year's Day.
Yep,
So looking forward to that.
and the new Doctor Who Christmas special.
Yes, so
They're showing in theaters for a
I've
night.
seen the new clips with the new companion, so I have fingers crossed. Hopefully that'll be good
Good,
because I hated Clara.
yeah.
I'm officially on the hate
A lot of people
Clara
don't like Claire. Yeah,
bandwagon.
I didn't like how it changed the relationship from Who and the passenger.
Yeah, no, she was a little too gung ho.
Yeah.
I like the new gal. She looks a little more skeptical. Like, what the hell?
Right. Yeah, the way it should be.
Yeah, no,
Who should be the one that's like adventure and the
It was like, what?
the other
What
person
are we
should be like no. But it's the way it should be. It's the way it's always been. It's the way it should be. Moves the story along better, I think. But yeah, the Clara thing messed things up. So, Mr. Wright. So you like Mr. Wright? You liked American
I liked
Ultra?
American Ultra.
Gotcha.
I've got Civil War on here. I think we've talked about that before.
Yeah.
I did enjoy Civil War.
Still haven't
Probably-
seen Doctor Strange, but I've heard it's very good.
Yeah, I was just it doesn't appeal. Deadpool. Surprised I liked it, but because I hate Ryan Reynolds, as we've talked about. But again, we've talked about Deadpool. I liked Deadpool.
Yeah.
I thought that was good. I haven't seen Suicide Squad, although I have that.
Yep. Did not enjoy that. That's on my
but,
no list.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the original concept, so this just seems kind of a stray. It just seems like anything DC does now. It's like, hey, we got to put Batman in it so people will watch it.
Right.
Otherwise, they won't go see it. Which, again, one of the films that I've hated throughout the years, and we can talk about it more later. Batman versus Superman.
Yeah,
I
horrible
just
movie.
thought that was garbage.
It was utter garbage.
So, what other
Utter
any
garbage.
other movies you can think of that you really liked?
I really enjoyed Rogue One. I really enjoyed
Okay,
Rogue
we
One.
can't talk about this.
We can't?
No.
Well, no, I'm just telling you I enjoyed it. I'm not going
Okay,
to give you any
don't-
spoilers.
that's all I want. That's fine. Just
The only thing I will
no,
say.
no,
the only thing
don't,
I will
shut
say
up,
about
shut up. La la la. No, I'm not listening.
It felt like a Star Wars movie.
Yeah, all right,
That's it.
No, I'm not listening. I don't want to know.
That's it.
I'm going to see it on
And when the Cylons showed up, it was a little weird. It was a little weird when the Cylons showed up.
Why is Gandalf in this?
Right.
No, because that's what I'm doing Christmas Day, second day of Hanukkah.
Excellent.
So I'm going to go get some Chinese, head to the movies,
Mm-hmm.
and check it out. So I may go see it twice. Who knows?
Yeah, I will go see it again.
That's what we do. It's
Chinese
it's our
movies?
tradition.
That's your
Yeah.
thing? Yeah. Where do you go to Chinese?
I don't know, because here's my thing. I think, and I say you guys with respect, but I think you Christians have gone around and started converting some of the people at the restaurants, because now the Chinese restaurants are starting to close on Christmas. And it's
It's
like,
a Christmas story. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like, wait, they used to be open. Now
Right.
they're closing for Christmas. So apparently they've become Christians and they're closing.
Yeah.
I need the ones that are still like Hindu or something, so they don't close.
Where's you got to have your fa ra 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 ra.
No, I don't need that. I just need
Your
to make
racist
sure that
Christmas Carol, son of a bitch.
exactly. I just need to make sure they're open so I can go. I can have my Chinese food.
Right.
And go- I mean, where else are we supposed to go?
That is true.
Although to be fair, some of us do celebrate
yeah,
Christmas. Natalie Portman apparently having a Christmas tree this year.
really.
Well, because her husband's family is coming over. They're hosting, and she was on Jimmy Fallon.
Yep.
But
All blue and white lights. That's it.
yeah, she said her family, her husband's family's coming over. She said, "Well, they mind not having a tree?" And her parents popped off. "We can get a tree." And she's like, "My whole life we never had a tree, but now that his parents are coming, we get a tree."
Right. Menorah on top instead of a star.
You could
Yep.
You
That'd
could.
be cool.
call it a Hanukkah bush.
There you go.
But-
Hanukkah bush.
That's some people do. But
Is anything like a 70s bush?
no,
Totally different. Totally different. Okay.
completely.
Completely different. All right.
The
Bush.
cigar that's in my mouth that I'm mumbling with is the Luminosa from Crowned Heads. That is new this year.
Yeah, that is
And
new. One of the
very
ones you like?
Yeah, one of the ones I like is the one in your hand, that new Nat Sherman,
Metropolitan Habano.
the Metropolitan Habano. that is an enjoyable stick. Great price points on both of these too.
Right, yeah.
So
I liked the, tell you what, some other sticks that I liked. We're going to get into the cigar side of things real quick here because we are a cigar show also, where we smoke cigars on the show, rather, not really a cigar show. Liked the Tabernacle.
yes,
Yeah, Tabernacle was good. What else?
I like the Charter Oak that they did. I mean,
haven't had that one. Haven't had
a great, just a standard Connecticut, standard Maduro. Can't beat the price point on it. Good everyday stick.
Yeah.
So that wasn't too bad. Man, what else has come out new this year? I see so much.
Yeah, we smoke a lot, and it's easy for them to get lost in the
Yeah,
mix.
and then try to figure out what year it was. Because I think Way Winsay, that was the year before.
No, that was this year. It's on this year's top 25.
It is, but I think it came out because I've had it for longer than that.
Okay.
I think it came out last year's show.
Well, they just got rated this year. So.
Yeah. And
I like
well,
that one.
and
That's
it
a
made a
good
lot
cigar.
of lists
Yeah.
the year before, but it only made aficionados list this year.
Yeah, I like that cigar,
Because
too. Yeah, Nick's doing
it's
good stuff
aficionado.
over there. So
He is.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of him. I wish him all the best.
Mm-hmm.
And again, hopefully some of this FDA stuff will go away. I've heard some positive stuff lately. So fingers crossed.
yeah.
We'll all be able to stay in business.
Any others that you liked? There was a La Polina that I liked. I can't think of what it was called.
The Lancero?
Yeah, the Illuminati or something like that.
Yes.
Is that what it's called?
I think so.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Paul, yeah.
Paul Costo's not here to correct us, so we're going to go with that.
No, but he's gonna yell about it.
He never listens.
He doesn't like podcasts. Man, what else was it that came out? I'm trying to think. I liked. You're gonna roll your eyes. I like the Power Band from Camacho.
Yeah, I haven't had that.
I thought I gave you one.
Nope, it wasn't memorable.
I liked it, but I get accused of liking all Camacho and Room
Yeah, I know.
101 stuff. But I very much did.
Yeah.
Trying to think of what else is out there that's new that we've brought in.
I liked the latest one from Matt Booth, the Cool Arrow, the Chief Cool Arrow.
Chief Cool Arrow, yes.
That was tasty. I just had that the other day over at the event at Stogie's for Christmas, and first time I've ever gotten like green tea off a cigar on the cold draw. It was really good.
Really?
Yeah. And
Did you get any boysenberry?
No boysenberry, no.
Just green tea.
Just green tea. And a little bit of snosberry.
Nice.
But it was really good. It was really good, yeah. I actually think I liked it a little better than the tobacco down or whatever that's called.
I'm a fan of the tobacco. I'm a fan of both.
Yeah.
Still wish I could find some more Uncle Lee's.
Really?
Around that was
there was a ton of them over there. You just need to call Stogie's, man. They got them.
Do they?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Maybe do that.
You know who I thought really kind of struck out this year?
Who?
AJ Fernandez. They were horrible this year.
Oh God.
Sorry.
Oh, that's why. Come on in. This is what happens when you do
Live
podcast.
This is Brandon Holsworth. He is with AJ Fernandez.
He is. Say hi,
And,
Brandon.
he has a beard now, and
He does, and he's wearing. Did you go Western?
I got these in Nicaragua.
he's got the belt
Well, but
buckle
they're,
with the
they're
scorpion.
boots,
now.
so it's kind of. I've not seen you in the Western. Got the scorpion on the belt buckle.
Correctly say the name of that cigar that you guys did. The Bell Arch. Was it?
Artis.
Beas Artis. That's a good cigar.
Yes.
Tasty stuff this year. Yeah.
I'm digging the beard.
Thank you.
That's,
I like it too. It's pretty damn sexy. What? No.
No. You know, Brandon, here's when you get rid of a beard. When the beard's ready. You listen to the beard. The beard will tell you.
Yes, you were right.
Yeah, you listen to your beard. I've not seen you decked out like this before. Kind of the cowboy theme.
Yeah.
You just need a hat.
Yippee-ki-yay.
You can fill that in at home, kids.
Yeah.
If you've seen Die Hard. So what have you brought?
It's just my Christmas cookies I take for my premium retailers. Well,
That's not you, Luna. I am a premium retailer.
No, yeah, I'm a competitor.
the Oreos. And
So I don't get cookies.
The gingerbread cookies from a 100-year-old family recipe.
You can. Are you going to introduce us?
This is my daughters, Alex and Violet.
Alex Violet? Okay.
Hands with Mr. Phil, and you guys remember Mr. Luna.
I don't have this anymore.
Daddy's alcohol.
Yep.
Never brought anything to the party.
Correct.
Never
Correct.
brought anything.
I'm Mexican. That's what I do.
This is our year in 2016 episode, so you picked a good time to get here. Yeah. And
Switchblade cones.
Brandon got me this as my Hanukkah gift.
Nice.
So
Well, those are holiday cookies, not
so
particularly
that's
Christmassy,
fine.
you know.
That's fine. I don't take exception. I can't get this out of the box actually.
We switched the microphone situation, so you're a part of it now.
Oh, cool.
Oh, there you go.
Cool.
So I'm gonna actually. I mean, I guess I could share some of these with
Are you diabetic?
Brandon. Not that I'm aware of.
All right, good. Because if you are, do not eat the Oreos. They are amazingly diabetic.
Full of sugar?
Yeah, oh, yeah. They're
I'm
awesome.
trying not to eat the mic because that's one thing that always annoys me.
Yeah, Mike's over here now, so you're good. I turned these off and put that one on.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Classic handling. Classic
Yeah.
style.
See, so if you let the beard grow out,
Then you can, yeah, exactly.
oh, even
exactly.
better. I actually worked with a guy who used to do that.
Really?
He was obsessed with his eyebrows. Jerry Truax
Yeah.
was his name. We never could figure out why. Well, I couldn't because I was a naive kid, believe it or not. I couldn't figure out what his problem was, and then I realized years later he had a coke problem, and he was always just wired. And it's like,
Oh, yeah.
that's why I couldn't stand the guy.
Yeah. I had a guy that worked with the Best Buy that anytime hot chicks would come in and he wanted to help them out, he would do this. Do the lick and the... And I'm like, really? People do that?
Truax did that.
Yeah, that's gross. I just did that and I feel gross now.
Yeah.
I'm digging the beard. It has more gray than I would have thought you would have.
Yeah, it's kind of like if Kung Fu Panda had sex with General Zod. It's what their offspring would look like.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
General Zod.
Okay.
Semi-sleazy,
I
semi-Kung
like
Fu.
it. I like it. I think it looks cool in it.
Man, it even goes with your woman's shades.
Nice.
No, I'm kidding. I can't see what's on the side. I'm like, it looks like a woman's name.
Ray-Ban?
No,
It
Maui
says
Jim.
Ma-
Maui
Maui
Jim.
Jim.
Oh, Maui. It looked
These
like
are what
Mom.
true pimps wear.
Maui Jim.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
People with money wear these things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
so,
So you got your wife giving
Yeah,
you.
my wife.
Well, I mean, you're wearing a Ralph Lauren shirt with what is that? I'm assuming your belt buckle was $2,000, that scorpion belt buckle?
Well, it's one of a kind. It was
Was it got an actual scorpion in gold?
That
in
that
it?
is a dead scorpion.
Yeah.
It's a dead scorpion encased in gold.
Yes.
Excellent.
It's a virgin scorpion.
Excellent. Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, I'm going to get these girls out of here before they go crazy. I
Thank
just want
you.
to wish you
Hey,
Merry Christmas.
Thank you, sir.
Please.
Brandon
for stopping
Holdsworth
by.
from AJ Fernandez.
Yes.
Thanks for coming by, dude. Thanks for the cookies. These are delicious.
I'm glad you like them.
Used to be one of my best friends till he betrayed me. So
Wow.
That's my line.
Can't you two get along? Do we need to do an on-air intervention?
yeah, you need to come be on this show. All right.
See you. Thanks for coming by, man. You never know who's going to stop in here at the Cigar Lounge.
Right.
Play with my Switchblade. What was it you said we are now? We are Switchblade Comb Brothers?
Yeah, come buddies.
There you go. That sounds a little good. You want one of these cookies?
Yeah, of course I do.
They're actually really good. Now I'm afraid to.
I'm gonna dip it in my Bloody Mary here.
I'm afraid to try the Oreos.
The Oreo. Oh, the
after what he-
Oreos are off the chain, dude. I've had it before.
After what he said, if I'm diabetic.
They're
Which mic
very
am I
good.
on, actually?
You're on your mic.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good now. I just turned it back.
All right. So what were we talking about?
Cigars.
Cigars.
We're talking about cigars. I think we kind of.
Bel Artiste. That's
Yep.
their cigar that came out this year. Actually, their Enclave was on Aficionado's Top 25 this
It was,
year.
yeah.
Even though that came out last year.
Correct. Yeah. But they finally got rated, which is nice.
Yes.
It had been a long road for them. to
It's
get that
you
rating.
know they do. It's one of those sticks. They come in at a good price point, and you're not going to be disappointed. Which
Yeah.
is nice for him. It's kind
Man,
of
AJ's one of those guys, man, that's just stepping up in the industry, doing a lot of stuff with other people. You got a Monte Cristo from him now, and a couple other companies that put out stuff. And
General.
General, yeah.
They're making
So-
Oya
Mhm.
Oya de Monterrey or yeah,
correct. Yeah.
with him. So
So yeah,
Yeah.
he's a hot right now in the industry, which is
all these guys that are about my age, so much more successful than I am.
right. Well, they're all
kinda
Hispanic
depressing.
too, so or some sort of Mexican descent.
Yeah, but I mean, I just look around. I see actors my age. It's like, what have I done with my life?
You've done a podcast,
That's true. Not that I need to be successful, but I don't need the fame. I just want the money.
right? That's
Yeah,
the
that's
big part, yeah.
pretty much it. Because not that I want fancy things. I just want to not have to ever wake up with an alarm again.
Exactly.
Just
And
be
not have
like,
to
whenever
worry
I get
about-
up is fine.
Yeah, you see something you want, you get it. Whatever. Yeah.
Well, I like shopping on the clearance rack, so now I could just say, I'll take both shirts on the clearance rack and say, like, do I really need them?
Right.
Because I'm cheap.
All right, so what else we got? Books. Let's hit on the books.
Books. Books. I felt like I really did a good job of finding some stuff this year, all through reviews I read in the local paper, in the Dallas Morning News. One is a writer named Reed Farrell Coleman. He took over for Robert Parker on the Jesse Stone series, which was never a Parker series I read, but he did a series with about a character called Mo Prager, who is a how do I put it? Kind of a retired detective, or he never actually made detective. Left the police force, investigates a crime, and how his first case and the seeds of the first case affect the rest of his life. And it takes you all the way through his youth, all the way through to the point where he's an old man. Mm-hmm. Really fascinating. The dialogue is crisp. It's set in New York. He does a great job of giving you a sense of place, of feeling like you're there. And again, because it's structured over the course of this guy's life, you see New York in the 60s all the way through, the new millennium.
That's cool.
That was a really good series that I enjoyed. And then when that series ended, he started a new one with a character called Gus Murphy. And again, detective series. This one a little bit different. You're dealing with broken characters in both, but this one used to be a cop. Something tragic happens, no longer a cop, but still kind of gets roped in, and you see him, having to go out, solve crimes. And one of the things that got me interested in him was they mentioned he started out as a poet.
Okay.
And I've always found, because of my interest in poetry, I found that writers who have that start in poetry, that when it comes to their novels, you get a very interesting description or an interesting way of them describing the character's emotion, especially if it's internal dialogue. Mm-hmm. It's a different style of writing. And so I've really been drawn to that. There was a book called The Dog Stars, and I can't remember the authors, Daniel Heller maybe. Mm-hmm. And again, started as a poet and just love the book. So again, Reed Farrell Coleman, if you like good mysteries, check him out. There was another one by Daniel O'Malley. The first book was called The Rook. This one a little harder to describe. And O'Malley's kind of weird to me because I think he's grew up in New York, lives in Australia, but the whole book has this British sense of humor to it. But basically, you have a woman named Miffany.
Okay. Interesting name.
Thomas. Yeah, it looks like Mafani. Mm-hmm. And she is a rook with this. Man, I don't even know how you describe it. The book it's a little Doctor Who with a little Man from U.N.C.L.E. Basically, imagine you had this secret government organization that has paramilitary, but they work with the extraterrestrial.
Okay.
So maybe like a combination Men in Black with a little Harry Potter thrown in.
Yeah.
Because it deals not so much with aliens as it is with magic and the occult.
Okay.
But that was a great series. And like 700 pages, but made it right through. And then the second book in that series, Stiletto, which both of those, fantastic. If you like sci-fi.
Yeah, I do.
Or just that type of genre, you would enjoy that. And then the other one, and I know I've read many more, 10% Happier by Dan Harris from Good Morning America. And It talks about how he got into meditation and kind of Buddhism. He's what we call a Jubu, a Jewish Buddhist. There's many. But it kind of takes away some of the religious hocus pocus of meditation, where it's like, oh, stare at your navel and light these candles and
right.
all of that. And it's just like, okay, here's really what you're doing. It's kind of mindfulness. So I got a lot out of that book because it's 2016's not been my year.
Yeah.
So ups, mostly downs. So that was kind of a good thing for me, so I could find my way of getting a little bit of Zen in there.
Gotcha.
A little bit of meditation with cigars. That's one thing I do implement. I try to do the mindfulness, do kind of the meditation with a cigar.
Right.
Just shut everything out.
I can't do that as much as you because I'm a rep and I have to smoke them, daily at shops and stuff. But I try and at least have one a day that I really do slow down and enjoy. And that's probably the one negative on this job is that you lose that part of the cigar enjoyment. You still get the flavor and everything, but you don't have that meditative. I'm going to take my time and just really enjoy this moment, whether I'm reading or talking with people or whatever.
They say if you do something you love, that then you'll never work a day in your life. But the thing is, it's like then it kind of takes away from being what you love.
Yeah, true.
Because then it does become a job.
Yeah.
Hey, Steve, would you like one of these cookies that Holsworth brought us? It's gingerbread. I mean, you have to give them back, but if you'd like one, no, okay.
Take a cookie. Have a cookie. You don't want cookies? Okay,
All right.
you don't like cookies.
You don't like gingerbread.
Bah humbug.
This one's in the shape of Texas, and something Texas, and it's absorbed Mexico.
Yeah.
And that may be, I don't know what the hell that is. It's a jackalope.
That's a broken something, yeah.
So any books? Did you read anything this year?
I read crap this year, yeah. Game of Thrones. I read the first 3 of those.
You read those?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Because I was, on the plane. Books that you can find at the airport,
right.
we'll say. So I read those. Read a couple of other things that were just bad that writers I used to like that I'm like, oh, well, I used to like this writer. I'll get this and see if it's any good. Not good.
As?
Jeffrey Deaver, stuff like that. Guy used to do the Bone Collector series and whatnot. Mm-hmm. So those books aren't, whatever he's doing now, not great. So yeah, a bunch of crap, basically. The one I did read that I actually liked was the Miss Peregrine series. It's a young adult series. My wife had read it because Zoe was interested in reading it.
Right.
So she wanted to see if it was appropriate. Not appropriate. It's probably more of a teenager series, but very, very well written. Like you said, it's I don't know if the person used to write poetry, but they're very good descriptives in it. Very eloquently written. You feel like you're there and part of it. I think and a lot of the teenager type series aren't that way. Like to me, the Harry Potter series isn't that way.
I couldn't get past the first chapter.
Yeah, they're kind of garbage writing, in my opinion. But
wow.
Yeah, Harry Potter's just Scooby-Doo with magic. That's my opinion on that. So that's all it is. Yeah. It's always the one person. I would have got away with it too if it wasn't for you darn kids. It's the same ending on every single book. So, yeah, not a big fan of that series. But I like the Miss Peregrine series. I thought they were well written. A lot going on, interesting stuff, and it was cool. That was about the best thing I read this year. Game of Thrones books are good, but a little too verbose. They fall into that There's that fantasy genre where things just kind of get out of hand, and there's 20 pages of describing a monster or something that someone's doing instead of moving along with the story. That annoys me. Kind of like Stephen King books. You can skip, when he starts talking about something, you can skip 5 pages and he's still talking about something, so you didn't miss anything.
That's why I put down Moby Dick 5 times.
Yeah.
5 pages of Queequeg getting into bed. It's like, I get it.
Yeah. Same thing with Tom Clancy books. Hunt for October is a 400-page book. You can only read, you read 150 of it and get the story. The rest of it's descriptives of the inside of the, submarine and whatnot. So
I like that sometimes, but yeah, if you go on with the narrative or the description too long, the narrative, like I need action.
Especially if it's sterile. I mean, if it's well written and it's it's descriptive but eloquent, then I'm
But sometimes you can do it to the point of like, wait, now I'm confused because you said it was on the right, but where am I standing? And now
right, yeah.
And I just get confused, and then I lose interest.
Yeah. So didn't read a lot of good stuff this year, but
I'm hoping to read more next year. And of course, and I don't know, I haven't given you this yet. I usually give it out towards the end of the year. David Sedaris' Holidays on Ice, fantastic book. I love that. That's the one gift I do give out. I just call it my holiday gift.
Right.
But I love Sedaris, but that you can read the book in probably an hour and a half. But it is absolutely funny. Where else are you going to find stories like Dinah the Christmas Whore?
I love that title.
I mean, it's perfect, and it sums up the true message of the holidays, I think.
Mm-hmm. Which is sluts.
Sluts, yes.
Yes.
That is exactly it.
At least Halloween. That's
sluts who work at a cafeteria.
Yep.
I miss cafeterias.
Yeah, well, Luby's. Go to Luby's.
Yeah, there's a Furs, but it's a little far away. But I like Furs. They do a better chicken fried steak.
They do.
We should talk about chain restaurants at some point.
We should definitely do that, yeah.
We'll put that on the list.
I like it. So, music. Any music you like this year at all?
Yeah, I think I pretty much discovered Postmodern Jukebox last year. We talked about that a little bit, but I still like the stuff they've got coming out. But the new, I don't know what I've listened to this year. I don't know if I just haven't listened to music. But one thing I discovered, and you can mock me for this, Rick Astley. His album 50, really good stuff. His voice it's a little more gravelly, but his stuff's out there on YouTube. The song I really dug was "Angels on My Side." Kind of a clever video, but yeah, I kind of a Rick Astley guy.
All right.
That was a good album. And then Lake Street Dive, they had their new album out, and I can't think of the name of it, but that was also enjoyable. And of course, the latest album from Joey Salvia, which you can find on iTunes.
There you go. Yeah, for me, it's been I go through phases musically where like I want to just listen to a certain kind of genre for a while, and I stick with it for about 3 or 4 months, and then I switch. So I had an early in the year, I had like a heavy metal phase where I was listening to a lot of old stuff that I used to listen to, but I also found a couple new bands that I really liked, Ghost and Opeth, which are both not from the U.S., but have a very good, deep sound. I wouldn't say they're like speed metal or anything, but they have very thoughtful music, and it's almost like, Pink Floyd-ish, but harder,
Gotcha.
Very orchestral and stuff like that, so I liked those a lot. Royal Republic is another one. It's a Swedish rock band that I found that's really fun. Postmodern Jukebox, of course. I went and saw them, and that was a blast.
Did you guys get all dressed up?
We did, yeah. Tribe Called Quest was the new CD from them is very good.
Okay.
As well as the new Wolf Mother, which I saw them live this year as well. So
Wow.
That's about it for me. So, yeah, not a whole lot, but some.
I honest to God, as we're sitting here doing this, I'm trying to think of what I've done with my year. Because I know I've worked a lot and tried to decompress a lot.
Yeah.
I said, not my favorite year. And so let's move on to the stuff that we hate. And one thing you hate is losing people.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of famous people died this year.
Yep, a lot of famous people died.
I mean, we say that every year, it seems like, because there's always... But this year, it seems like it was just even more, especially younger. Mm-hmm. Because Glenn Frey, relatively young. Prince.
Yep.
And then...
Anton Yelton was real young.
Yes.
Anton Yelton. And he was...
And that was Jeep's fault.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you had some other people who, not surprising, Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
Arnold Palmer. Alan Rickman, another young one. Unexpected.
Yeah, David Bowie was a big one.
Yeah.
You had Abe Vigoda, which
everybody
thought he was going to die 20 years ago.
Well, but everybody, they thought he's been dead for 20 years.
Right. George Kennedy was another one that's been around forever that you thought was dead 20 years ago. Nancy Reagan.
Yeah.
See, Ken Howard.
From White Shadow.
Yeah.
That's what I remember.
Gary Shandling was a surprise.
He was young.
Yep. So Doris Roberts, Seinfeld.
Oh, yeah.
Mom. Yeah. You got that Patty Duke, who has been around forever. Let's see here.
Did her twin cousin die?
No. Probably.
Yeah.
Right after, yeah. Gary Marshall was a big one. That was a big loss.
A guy everybody thought was Jewish, but actually isn't.
Really?
Or wasn't? No.
What?
Yeah, Gary Marshall, not Jewish.
He sure talks like one.
That's what he mentioned that in interviews.
Gene Wilder was a big one.
And also Jewish.
Yep. Arnold Palmer.
Yeah.
And Robert Vaughn.
From Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Yeah,
well, and he was also in Magnificent Seven.
And Battle Beyond the Stars, where he basically played the same character he played in Magnificent Seven, but in space.
Robert Vaughn took a lot of crappy roles.
He did.
Later in life. He was like on season... whatever the last season of the A-Team was.
Yeah. I remember watching that semi-recently with my dad around, and he was like, yeah, you loved this movie when you were a kid. I'm like, this movie's crap. Why did I like this movie? He's like, the ship has boobs. I'm like, that's probably it.
There you go.
That's probably it.
Now you know.
Florence Henderson, the television's mom.
Yeah.
One of our favorite moms died.
Yeah.
No? What?
It was more of a Shirley Jones.
Oh, okay. Well, she's still around. Ron Glass. That's a big
one. That one bugged me.
Yeah.
That one bugged me. He was very young. Well, not too young, but I mean, yeah, that one bugged me because I really liked him.
Yeah, me too. John Glenn.
One. Talk about a guy who, when you use the word, I guess, hero, you could actually use that in relation to him. But I mean, when I look back at the program, the original
space
program NASA did, it wasn't like somebody said, hey, we're going to do this. We've done it a million times. It's fine. Like, we've never done this really before with a human, but we're going to basically light all this fuel on fire. We're hoping it's going to go up. Then
Right.
we're hoping it's going to go around 3 times and hoping that you'll come back and you won't burn up. But really, we don't know. But theoretically, we've done the
Right.
math and it should work. This guy's like, I'm in.
Right.
Like, how big are your balls, sir? I mean, it's just to be able to say, yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah.
That is amazing to me. Anybody in those original Apollo and Mercury programs to be able to do those things
Right.
is just amazing.
I would love to read about what he did the day before or the day of that moment. Like, what was his thought process? What did he go through? Did he have that one cigar that he'd been wanting to smoke? Did he have that
Right.
one drink? Did he sleep with that one woman? What was his day like?
I was already married. Of
Yeah.
course, that doesn't necessarily. I'll just put that there.
Right.
Doesn't mean anything, but
Because you got to know that there's got to be those thoughts going through your head, like I may not come back. From
this may be the last.
This may
Yeah,
be it for me.
Yeah. So, like, what's the last cigar you smoke?
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Alan Thicke.
That was shocking.
That was very shocking. Yeah.
Really didn't. I wasn't torn up about it.
No, I wasn't a big.
It was
Alan
just kind of
Thicke
like,
fan, but
huh, weird.
Yeah. Bernard Fox. You remember him?
Bernard Fox.
Yeah.
No.
He was in a bunch of stuff, man. He was in The Mummy. The original. No? All right.
Uh,
Zsa Zsa Gabor, that's one of your favorites.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
Fidel Castro.
Yeah. Asshole. Not a lot of people torn up about that one.
No. Well, yeah, people over there. Maury Safer. Remember him?
Yeah. More
Yeah,
than
that
Safer
was a
from
big
16
one. I mean, he was
Minutes.
old, but still, it's like, when you hear about it, you're like, oh, I forgot about him. Oh, he
Uh-huh.
died. That sucks. Yeah. So there was a lot this year that just were pretty out there, pretty surprising. Pat Harrington from
One Day at a Time.
Yeah, One Day at a Time.
Schneider. Well, and Leonard Nimoy.
Yeah, Leonard Nimoy. That's a
That
big
one.
yeah.
That one sucked. I always liked Nimoy.
Me too. He is greatness.
I have dated a woman who said Spock was the hottest. Like you're like yeah. Kirk, like no, Spock was hot.
Yep. They talk about that.
Really?
There's a documentary about him called
Is this the one his son did that's on Netflix?
Yeah. I forget what it's called, but it's on Netflix. It's a Spock. Just look up Mr. Spock and you'll find it. But it's a good little documentary.
Well,
They
you know,
talk about the
it
sex
goes
appeal of
into
Spock.
it goes into the how he came up with the Vulcan hand sign for "Live
Yeah.
Long and Prosper" when he saw the rabbi do it. So
Right.
That I thought was interesting. Not because not a lot of people know that.
Right.
Who did we mention? Alan Rickman died.
We did, yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
that was about. Great actor.
Great actor, yeah.
And I guess it shouldn't matter if somebody's a shitty actor if they died. It's just you
no,
know.
but I mean, he was beloved. I mean, he did so many good
He was.
movies, and
he
played
made
bad
the
guys
movie.
very well.
He
did.
made the movie.
He
And I
stole
think
a lot of movies. Yeah,
He stole Die Hard.
he stole Die Hard. He stole Quigley Down Under. He stole
Oh,
Robin Hood,
yeah.
Prince of Thieves. I mean,
Yeah,
every
he
single
was
one of
he
those.
was great and Quigley.
He was the light in those films. Yeah, because everybody talks about like, oh, Tom Selleck could have been Indiana Jones. I'm like, Tom Selleck doesn't have that sparkle. He's a television actor. He doesn't have the sparkle.
He's a better
that,
cowboy.
Yeah,
He really is. He's I don't know. Maybe with the script, I'm
Yeah.
not sure. Maybe he just never got the scripts.
I've never
But-
thought that Tom Selleck really carried a movie. He's good as a secondary in a movie, but
The
he's never
TNT
really
movies, the
carried a
westerns
movie.
that he did, I thought were really good.
Yeah, but I'm talking like in
in
cinema.
the theater. Yeah,
Something about him
it's-
just doesn't translate.
It doesn't translate to the larger screen.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Although that doesn't stop.
he was great in and out, in a small part. He's great in that.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
as a main star,
Just
not so much.
not
Yeah,
the
so much.
gravitas that you need.
Yeah, but Alan Rickman could pull it off, and he has a lot of movies that he either directed or were movies that he was big in over there, but not here in the U.S. that are great movies that people need to check out. So
Yeah, we don't watch a lot of foreign films here. People tend to freak out.
we don't. So a couple of other shows that were highly rated this year on the television that we did mention, The Crown. That's another Netflix one that everybody was talking
There's
about.
one on Hulu with the guy. I can't think of his name.
Black Mirror was big this year as well.
Haven't watched that. No, this one on Hulu deals with psychics, fake psychics, and I cannot think of the name of it.
BBC import called London Spy. Apparently, we need to check out.
London Spy.
Better Call Saul was good this year.
And I have yet to. I've watched part of the first season. I need to go through and binge watch that.
Yep.
Because I do. I got into Veep. The thing I hate about Veep is they are all just horrible, horrible people, and really none of them
Just like Seinfeld.
are likable.
If you think about it, in the grand scheme of things, everybody on Seinfeld was pretty much an asshole,
Yeah, but not to the same extent. Shut Eye is what it's called.
Okay.
Dark comedy look at the world of Los Angeles storefront psychics and the organized crime syndicate that runs them. Former magician, Jeffrey Donovan.
Oh, okay.
Or Sean Poza from Arturo Fuente, and Burn Notice
Right.
plays the burned out psychic. Apparently, he's a magician. He's trying to transition over into being a fake psychic. But apparently, that's been really good.
The Night Of did really well for HBO as well. Mr. Robot got all kinds of accolades. I've never
You know,
seen it.
I burned out on that after seeing all the damn commercials.
Yeah, Stranger Things also was.
You and I talked about
highly
that.
touted, yeah.
I know, and I didn't like it. I mean, I didn't dislike it, but I felt like it was just like hinging on nostalgia, and I'm supposed to like it because it's an 80s show or
Right,
it has a lot of 80s references. Like, I don't care.
Yeah. I think the last thing I want to talk about before we end this is the thing that wore me out the most this year was probably the election.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Yeah. Just a nightmare of an election.
And it's not over. Go on Facebook, and there's still people carping about it, whether pro or con.
Yep.
There's still carping about it, and it's not going to end. And we're going to have 4 more years of just carping about it.
Yep.
The other thing, and I think that one of the things that bugged me, kind of tangentially related, fake news.
Mm-hmm.
So much of that. And it's like, look, if you can't read the website address and figure out that this is bogus,
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you. If I was The Onion, I'd be pissed.
Right,
But at least
right.
The Onion's funny.
Exactly, yeah.
But I don't know, people say it affected the election. I don't know that it did. But it certainly reveals a lot
Yeah.
about the American mindset, I think.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That we're
And you know, the thing with Facebook and we talked about Facebook already.
Yeah.
I don't like Facebook, but 9 times out of 10, people that repost stuff like that, the fake news, all they read was the headline. They didn't read anything else. They didn't go to the page. They didn't try to read it. Nothing. If you take the time to actually read those stories, if you click and go and read those stories, you can see grammatically, spelling, everything. They're not real stories. There's no way anybody would publish those stories.
Right.
They're horribly written. So use a little common sense, people. Take time to actually read the post before you get mad and post something about it. So,
yeah, that would involve, like you said, effort.
yeah.
Batman, Superman.
Batman, Superman. What a piece of
Snyder,
crap.
God. Everything I see, and now they got more clips coming out of, Justice League or pictures. I'm like, this is going to suck.
Yep.
Just Zack Snyder just sucks.
He does.
So, that was
everything
another
DC's
one of my
doing. Yeah. Everything
pet
DC's
peeves.
doing is bad.
I'm
You're
liking their
gonna-
TV shows.
Well, on the film
I'm able
side
to
of
watch
things,
them.
yeah.
I'm able to watch them with my kid. They're kind of yes, they're on the cheesy side, but yeah, they're entertaining.
Yeah.
They're what comic books were supposed to be. I didn't get into comic books as a kid to be like, I'm looking for a dark, allegory or a dark metaphor for our times, and I like watching the heroes struggle like I do. It's like, no, I want escapism.
Exactly.
I like the Lone Ranger because it's like, yes, it's very clean and polished and Pollyanna-ish, but I like that sometimes.
Yeah, I do too. And
So-
they've taken it and bastardized it and made it something horrible. So
They
I don't
have.
know.
They have.
Yeah, DC television's good. I really think they need to take the people that are doing the animated stuff and let them do the movies.
That wouldn't be a bad idea because they come up with much better stories.
Yeah, the animated stories are a hell of a lot better.
Yes.
Everything's better about the animated DC stuff. Watch the animated DC stuff, and you got some good quality stuff.
Yeah.
There. Watch the TV shows. It's schmaltzy, but it's fun.
They finally
rebooted
rebooted the Well, I guess they did another rewrite on the comics, so
Yeah.
I've gotten back into those somewhat,
Yeah, I don't know.
whereas I hadn't before.
DC's so off track for me. It's not even funny.
Yeah, they both are really. If you read what's going on in the books, Hulk's dead. Thor's a woman.
Yeah.
Sam Wilson's Captain America.
Right.
It's like, what are you people doing?
Yeah.
I think it's just gimmicks, is pretty much it, and which tells you they've run out of.
Well, they're trying
Run
to
out
keep.
stuff.
They're trying to keep print alive. Print's barely hanging on.
Get e-comics,
Yeah.
which is that's the millennial way. Don't accumulate anything. I still like accumulating stuff. I like having a library. I like
Yeah.
having a humidor full of cigars.
Exactly. Just
Just-
think about our history. If something did happen right now,
Yeah.
and apocalyptic,
Okay.
how much information will we have access to for, say, 20 years from now? They go back, they dig stuff out. What kind of history do we have at that point? There's no access to the internet.
Right.
There's
It's all
only access
gone.
to books. Yeah, they're going to go back and say,
Because I've
oh,
always said it's not real. If it's on the internet, it's not real. It's like, look, I have this picture. It's like that's an image. It's not really
Right.
a picture. A photo is something you can hold, that you can stash away, that doesn't rely on you have to have a Wi-Fi connection.
right, right.
You know, same with a book that you hold in your hand, turn the page. That is a tangible object. An ebook is not.
Exactly. You own nothing at this point. Yeah.
Right. No, you own the rights to read it on your device.
Yep.
But it's not a possession. And again, I get it. The millennials are all about not having possessions.
Yeah.
But I'm older and I like having stuff.
Yeah, me too. I like having music in a physical format. I still
Yes.
buy CDs on occasion. You know?
Yeah.
And to me, that's the way for me to own that and to appreciate it. And a
To
prime
invest
example,
in it,
yeah,
right.
to invest in it. Prime example. Played Rock Band and still play Rock Band. It's a blast. It's fun. They've changed that so much now that stuff that I have bought, I've paid for the right to play these songs on Rock Band. Oh, the rights ran out, so you don't have it anymore. Like, why are songs disappearing off my Rock Band? Oh, well, the rights ran out. Well, I don't care. I paid for it. I still should.
Right.
Have the
You
right
should
to-
you should be able to.
Yeah. So you're like just dropping stuff off your catalog, and who's to say that's not going to happen on iTunes? You know. So
Yeah, it could.
you know.
I
you
mean,
lose
I
the
guess
rights
if
to
it's
the
on
Beatles
your
stuff, and all of a sudden they don't have the rights to it anymore, and it gets off your. You do an update on iTunes, and it's off.
then
your
all of
phone
a sudden
now.
it's gone.
Yeah, and you paid for it. So
Yeah, that's true.
Could happen. Just saying.
Analog, it's the way to go, kids.
Analog
Except
is
when
the
it
way
comes
to
to your podcast. Always listen to your podcast. Where would they listen to the podcast?
Well, you can go to iHeartRadio and listen to us. You can go-
That's big time.
It is big
I
time.
hear about that on terrestrial radio.
Right.
They talk about they're on iHeart, and we're on there with them.
We are because we're badass.
Nice.
Go to iTunes. Listen
So
to
wait,
us.
somebody could actually go from listening to Wait, Don't Tell Me, and All Things Considered on NPR to listening to us.
Correct.
Because I'd like to think we're in that same type of category.
No, we didn't talk about that podcast that you like. You mentioned a couple that you were.
You know what? Honestly, man, I last year I did. I haven't had a chance to listen to much this year.
But I'll tell you what.
I still like Mark Maron.
Yep. This is what I've been listening to real quick here.
Okay.
Love to Hate.
Yeah,
Definitely got to listen to that show.
I've listened to that one. I like it.
Kiefer for Prez. Yeah, check that out.
Yeah, I like that
Cigars and Cinema.
Yeah.
Those are all three mine.
one. Yeah.
Radio Lab. I love Radio Lab. I think Radio
Oh,
Lab's great.
I do. I catch that on NPR
Yeah,
on the weekend.
This American Life, also
Yes.
very good. How Did This Get Made, which is a good comedy podcast where they talk about movies and just basically just ask the question,
How did this get made?
movie get made?
I like that.
And they actually do get, they get the directors and stuff on board sometimes to talk to them and certain actors. It's a whole bunch of higher end comedians, so they can actually do those type of things. So those are some of the ones that I've liked quite a bit often. That's really about it. Yeah, those ones.
There is a show on NPR called Away with Words, in which they talk about the origin of words and phrases and how they came about, and how you will hear some regionally, how words are pronounced different in different regions of the country or different parts of the states, and if a phrase came over from Europe, and just how that stayed a part of vernacular. So that's kind of interesting. That's on the weekends on NPR. But they also have the podcast as well. And then what's the other one? I think it's not Wait, Don't Tell Me. It's Ask Me Another with Ophira Eisenberg. But to be fair, I have a crush on her. So
Yeah.
still a good show, but she is cute.
See, I like listening to those on the podcast because they're unedited. So the terrestrial.
Yeah,
radio,
that's
usually
true.
They're chopped.
Then
up a
you
little
don't.
bit.
Yeah, you don't get the pledge drive in the middle of it,
Exactly. Yeah.
which makes sense.
So check out those podcasts. man.
Yeah, so they can find all of those on iHeart, iTunes, Spreaker,
and YouTube.
And YouTube.
Yeah.
With no video.
No video, just like a little wavy thing.
But maybe a little easier to find because it's YouTube.
Exactly. Yeah.
Excellent.
Just look up Luna Podcast Group on YouTube and you'll find us.
Hey, kids, we welcome your questions, comments. If you want to tell us what you loved and or hated about 2016, you can let us know at our Twitter feed.
You would ask me that. Love to Hate Pod.
Love to Hate Pod.
The number 2. Yeah.
Love the number
Hate
2
Pod.
Hate Pod.
At Twitter. Yeah.
At Twitter. You can leave us.
Tweet us there. Yep. And if you ask us any questions, we'll get back to you. I never check it, but we'll get back to you.
There you go. All right. Hey, my friend, it's been a great year doing this with you. Have a Merry Christmas.
Have a Happy Hanukkah.
Thank you, sir. We'll talk to you next year, kids.